If you want to do life insurance telesales, this is the video you need to watch because this is what you need to know. Also, at any point during this, if you want more telesales content, comment telesales below, and I will make sure to do more live calls, content around telesales. If you are doing content and you want me to continue to do more telesales type content, comment telesales below, and we'll do that. Okay. The first thing I was thinking about, because I was just talking to my buddy Chris Ball from Life Insurance Academy this morning about telesales, and we were talking through several different things. And one of the first things that I want to mention is you need a really good script and system to plug into. Because you could say, dude, I've got telesales leads, I can make calls, or I'm broke and I'm gonna call age leads, or I'm gonna do whatever. But I'm telling you, a script and a system plugging into that is the fastest way to have success with telesales. Now, there's a lot of pros with telesales. Unfortunately, there's definitely some cons and things to worry about and look out for when it comes to telesales. And so some of the cons, we'll start there, and then we'll come back to the pros in a second. Some of the cons are things you got to worry about. I am hearing about people getting telemarketing leads from foreign telemarketers, and they're in lawsuits right now. So be careful when whoever from wherever sends you a LinkedIn message about how they're gonna give you. Actually, I heard of one scam right now where they're sending a live transfer to the agent at no cost. And then if you sell it, then they take half the commission, and then you send them half of what you make. But hey, it's if you don't have any money, it sounds amazing, right? Well, it sounds too good to be true. Means it probably is. Well, then when you send them half the money, they may eventually come back 1, 2, 3 months later and flip it to another agent, and then they'll get paid again. Well, that new agent will make money. They'll make money, but then you'll get a chargeback. And only about 30% of that business is actually sticking or staying on the books, which is freaking atrocious. That's a massive con. That's a negative. That's something you gotta be watching out for. Okay, let's go to the positive side. The positive side is if you have a good weekly lead source, a good script and a good system, and you'll actually put in the work, you can make a lot of money in your pajamas, in your basement. Like I've said this before, but like my buddy Clark, who was on The Ultimate Agent, he's written $340,000 this year in leads, $340,000 off of leads this year in life insurance final expense. 300,000 of that was specifically from Kaboom leads, which is amazing. Also, if you want any information about Kaboom leads, you can click the link below or go to info.kaboomleads.com to speak to our team about Kaboom leads. Okay, that's C-A boom. But in his example, where he's writing $300,000 in final expense over the phone, he has 50 leads every single week. Now, I don't know if that's a pro or a con, but I would say, hey, because you're like, oh, well, crap, I got to buy leads. Are you kidding me? Well, I'm here to tell you, you need leads every week. Getting leads every week is crucial to your success. Trying to do this phone sales thing without fresh people to talk to every single day makes it incredibly hard. Now, when he gets 50 leads, he then goes and sells 8 to 12 policies off of 50 Kaboom final expense leads. And so if you've ever tried Kaboom and you didn't have that success, or you're buying 50 leads other places, not having that type of success, you can. But he also said, back to the cons, he also said that even though he gets 8 to 10 policies pretty quick the first week, and then a few more over the next several weeks, so he'll end up at 8 to 12 policies over that 50 leads over the course of 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? I'm gonna get into his dialing strategy in a second. Well, then here's the negative. Okay, the negative is he says that it takes 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of buying leads every week consistently for this to actually pan out and grow and work out. Well, most people, they try 50 leads once, they don't get on a weekly subscription, they only sell 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they cut it. And they're like, well, that didn't work, let's go somewhere else. No. And I've seen it to be true as well. You need consistency with your lead source, and you need to be, specifically with Kaboom as an example, dude, you need to be putting 3, 4, 5, literally 6 weeks in a row of orders. And that is how you start to learn. That is how you start to figure out what's going on. And that is how you start to find consistency with your lead source. With consistency in leads, consistency in production, also you learn how to work the leads. You improve. It's like jumping on a bike and thinking you're going to be really good at the beginning. Guess what? When you first start riding a bike, you're not any good. But when you keep going riding the bike every single day for weeks and months, guess what? You get better at riding the bike. Same thing with sales. Same thing with life insurance telesales. Same thing with insurance in general. There's got to be consistency, and most people, they give up too soon. They don't have a weekly leads coming in every single week, which is why at Kaboom, we've actually catered to a 4 or 12-week subscription where we give you better pricing. I mean, you can get pricing down as low as $17 for a phone verified exclusive final expense lead, which is freaking unheard of and amazing. However, you got to be placing an order every single week to get a bigger discount. And when you're placing an order every week and you're receiving leads, you've got to be willing to follow up with those leads consistently and quickly. So back to some of the pros and some additional tips. I have been told multiple times that, Cody, when I call my fresh leads within 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, I get a hold of them and I triple dial them. And if you don't know what triple dial is, comment triple dial and I'll try to explain that. It's where you triple tap, boom, boom, boom. You call a lead 3 times in a row, back to back to back. Most people don't do that, don't know about that. However, I've been told multiple times when I call it really quick and I triple dial it, I have a much higher success rate of actually getting a hold of leads. And to even piggyback on that, not only getting a hold of leads, but one dialing strategy that I've heard that is crushing it is when you have a stack of 50 leads. Clark shared this on a video recently. I forget, he gave somebody credit. I forget who it was. May have been Dana, John, Chris, I don't know. But 50 leads, you take the first 20 and you call through the first 20 and you triple dial each one. You go back and you call the same 20 again, triple dial them again. Go through it a third time, triple dial them again, so that you may call that same batch of 20 leads. If they don't answer, if they don't buy, etc., you may call them 9 times within that 90-minute, 2-hour period-ish, whatever that is. Then you move on to leads 21 through 40, because it is kind of daunting. Like, oh my gosh, should I call through all 50? And then you don't exasperate them enough, if that's the right word. You don't hammer them enough. The goal with leads, by the way, is to get them on the phone. So this batch dialing strategy, 1 through 20, 1 through 20, 1 through 20, triple dialing each time. Boom. Okay, then go to 21 through 40, 21 through 40, 21 through 40. Leads, 21 through 40, 21 through 40, 21 through 40, right? And so that batch dialing system will allow you to get more touches out to a lead in a shorter period of time, because at the end of the day, the whole goal with leads is getting in front of and getting them to answer the phone. I can't guarantee that they will answer the phone. I can guarantee they'll buy. I only know they have a level of interest. They responded. They verified their freaking phone number with a 6-digit verification code. And they said, I want to talk to an agent. And now it's your job to get them on the phone, build rapport, find a problem, and help them solve it. Right? So if you want more life insurance telesales content and you've enjoyed this, comment telesales below, and I will make sure I keep delivering content like this every single week. Also, if you want additional training behind the scenes, you want to listen to live dials, you can go to castudios.tv. If you need leads, kaboom. See you soon.